Today is more than a building turnover. Today is a continuation of a story that began almost a century ago, right here in Subangdaku, just across the street from where we are. That was just right across. It was across the street where our paternal grandparents, John Mulok and Gregoria Casas Ngo, raised their family. It was there that my father, Eduardo Casas Ngo, followed in the footsteps, specializing in non-ferrous metal castings and eventually building what would become Dynamic Castings, which will celebrate its 60th anniversary in 2 years to come. And speaking of continuing stories, allow me to share a little backstory on how this donation came to be. I am told by my beautiful, ageless Molok aunts here today, may I acknowledge them, Filomena and Victoria Concepcion, that the Molok family donated the original stage in 1970s. This was by Ama Anya, Arnola Gregoria. 2 decades later, Papa Edward thought that the stage had become too small, so he donated a larger one, which was inaugurated in 1999. Almost 3 decades, here we are again, all because of a phone call. A phone call from one of the PTA members of Subangdaku Elementary School. May I take the opportunity to acknowledge the PTA who are here today? Where are you? I take this opportunity to thank you and I acknowledge them. Thank them for reaching out. Ladies and gentlemen, their request was very simple. Bond paper. Papa and Mama visited the school in September 19, 2024, right after my older brother Eric's lunch. It was his birthday. And we broke ground in December 2024. A year and a half later, here we are today. To this day, I maintain that this may very well be the most expensive bond paper donation in the history of the province. While we celebrate this building today, we also remind ourselves that a building alone does not educate a child. What truly matters is what happens inside the walls, these walls. That is why we are especially grateful for the support of the provincial government and most especially our hard-working, pinakagwapa People's Governor, Governor Pam Balicuatro. Because guys, she is truly a governor in action. Many weeks ago, Governor Pam personally visited this school to see how she could further help the students of Subangdaku. True to her word and commitment to education, she promised a state-of-the-art speech laboratory. Sayon kayo hangyoon atong gwapa nga gobernadora para sa kaayuhan sa ato ang mga estudyante. Right there and then, she called. O, di ba? Tawag din siya sa telephone. She called Honorable Dong Balicuatro, who immediately began coordinating plans for what will become a world-class speech laboratory complete with specialized equipment and facilities with approximately 5 million earmarked for the project. One phone call. Unsa pa kag sayawan nato kuyog sigam og TikTok unya. Today, we are pleased to announce that Classroom 2 will become the speech laboratory of the People's Governor, a place where students can find their voice, build confidence, and learn to communicate their ideals, dreams, and aspirations to the world. And if there is Classroom 2, you may be wondering, what is in Classroom 1? The child sitting in classroom 1 here in Subangdaku Elementary School is no different from the child sitting in a classroom thousands of miles away. A child in Subangdaku should never be limited by geography, circumstance, or the physical walls of the school. That is why Classroom 1 will become the second CAN Academic Learning Center in Subangdaku Elementary School. This time, it will serve the entire population. Because I heard that wala man to tanan ang makagamit now the entire student population. The classroom is more than a learning center. It is a bridge connecting a public school from Subangdaku to the rest of the world. It is lovingly dedicated to Engineer Justiniano and Corazon Gonzaga. I was told that Region 7 bigwigs from DepEd are here for the launching of Brigada Eskwela. May I ask all those from Tagbilaran City and the beloved province of Bohol, where are you? Ang mga taga-Bohol. Kay taga-Bohol po, go. My father served as provincial electrical engineer of Bohol, while grandmother spent her entire life as an elementary public school teacher at Tagbilaran City Elementary School. Yes, muna kong lola, muna ilang anak. It is therefore especially meaningful for us that their names and legacy become part of the school. As we continue building a brighter future for the pupils of Subangdaku, we are already looking ahead to our next dream, Classroom 3. It will soon become an e-library. But naana siya love story. So ato ng e-library. Together with Principal Irish and my childhood friend Lee Carcel in Sydney, by the way, shout out to Tanet Carcel and T. Carcel team for making all these arrangements easier and comfortable. We are working to bring this vision to life through room to read and other potential. Kumana kong tulis din sa local, international donors na punta. Ray and I have been friends since kindergarten throughout elementary school and high school. 5 decades later, we are still helping one another and still finding ways to serve others together like we did once upon a time in our student council. Perhaps this is one of the greatest gifts a school can give. Not only an education, but friendships that last a lifetime.